All right, coming back with another real talk video. That's one thing I like about YouTube. You can come on here and talk about anything you want to. You have your own page, you can do what you want. And I've been having a few little real talk videos because sometimes it's good to just get away from the Bible. I tell people all the time, you don't have to be churchy, read scriptures every day, all day. You have little real talk sometimes. I believe it's good to even do that at church sometimes. Talk about relationships and different things, and just kind of clear your mind sometimes. Not saying that you can have too much word in you, but I'm just saying learn how to balance out your life also. But I want to talk in this video about why so many people are spending time on somebody they know they ain't gonna even be with. How many people right now done spent years instead of fooling with somebody they know they ain't even supposed to be with? But yet they just tag along and go along with it anyway and seem like both of them are stuck on stupid. And you put all this time in this man or this woman and you ain't never on the same level. But you done got so comfortable with just, well, this is how it is, that you settle. And some women and some men think that they can't do better. So they find themselves getting miserable and more miserable. I'm going to tell you, people, you can do bad all by yourself. You don't have to have nobody dragging you down. So I'm speaking from a single man's point of view right now, and some of the things I have went through in the past. And I noticed if you ain't careful, you'll waste a whole lot of time on somebody you ain't supposed to be with. And you always asking yourself, why am I even with her? With her, excuse me. Or why I'm with him. I don't even understand why I'm with him, but I think I love him. Do you think you love him or do you know you love him? Or was it just lust? Like I said in the old video. And you'd be amazed at how many people spend so much time on somebody else that knowing that they ain't for them. I always tell people, you're going to either bring somebody up to your level or you're going to fall down to their level. Or you ain't on no level at all. And when you get comfortable in doing wrong, you find yourself trying to please this woman or please this man. Now you done got so caught up in pleasing them, whether they like you or not. And that's a bad thing to be in right there. You can't let go because, well, I got all this time invested in it. I'm gonna tell you something, people, just because you do something for so long don't make it right. I tell church folks that all the time. Just because you've been in church all your life, it ain't about how long you've been in church, what you've been doing in there, why you've been in there. Same with a relationship. Seems like a lot of people are waiting on their expiration date right now. I keep seeing how many divorces there are. And I heard people saying, well, I ain't really love them anyway. I just married them for the money. Or I married her for the money. I never did love her. So you can have all that money and find yourself still in the same spot, not moving forward at all. People need to quit going after anything. See, this flesh, if you can't see past this flesh, which most people can't, it's going to be hard for you to move on and find that woman that you need or that man that you need. And you pray. And see, this is the thing I always tell folks. Why you pray to God one thing, but then you turn around and do another. Oh, Lord, send me my husband. Oh, Lord, send me my wife, knowing you ain't even ready for it. And then if the Lord sent it your way, you done missed it because you done been so caught up in what you've been doing for the last years that you can't see past what you've been doing. Oh, man, I told y'all about this when you, especially men, talk from a man point of view, because I can't speak from a woman point of view. But I talk about single men with no kids and how they find themselves trying to date a woman with kids and how difficult it is. It's hard to date a woman with kids, especially when they don't have their kids in check. And that makes it hard. But I always tell people, all women with kids ain't bad women. And all kids ain't bad kids. The problem is they don't have nobody to show them love and spend time with them. And you got all of this stuff against you when you get into the relationship, bringing in no children, but you dealing with a woman with her children. And then some of these women got the nerve to want to still be selfish and go off on you because it ain't being ran their way, not thinking about your way. Or should I say, it should be our way. But it ain't no our. It ain't no we. It ain't no us. It's just I. This is what I need to do. This is what I expect out of you. If it ain't going to be my way, it's the highway. That's what you hear all the time. But back to the ones that spend all this time on somebody they know they ain't going to be with. How long can you keep doing the same thing? That's the word for the day. How long are you going to stay with somebody you know you ain't got to be with? I mean, just think about it. You get older and older. Some people get older and dumber. Some get older and wiser. And some just don't learn at all. They just content with what they do. But when you find yourself doing the same thing, you're going to get the same results. If you don't never try nothing different, how you expect to gain something different if you don't try something different? But so many people right now are depressed. They lonely. They got all kind of excuses on why they still deal with this person, deal with that person. They ain't learned how to be happy within themselves. See, if you can't make self happy without even being with somebody, how you gonna make somebody happy when you get in a relationship? That's impossible. Because you don't love yourself, you ain't gonna love that next person. And misery loves company. Y'all ever been around somebody who always down, they always complaining, they always miserable, seem like ain't nothing never good in their life. And they want you to feel the same way they feel. Now you gotta get out and around them kind of people. They'll make you depressed. I used to tell people all the time when they come knocking on my door, man, do you see any good in your life? Every time you come over here, what am I sitting up here getting depressed for? I'm all right in my life. You need to go on up out of here if you're gonna keep being depressed. I don't like being around depressed people because depressed people act like it ain't no God, it ain't no joy, it ain't no peace. That's because they won't straighten up and live the way they need to live. Stop holding on to these sorry niggas. And niggas, stop messing around with these gold diggers and these women that don't mean you no good. You can do better in life. So I just got to keep it real like I always do. So many people wasting this time on this woman. Let me go back to Samson and Delilah. Delilah didn't love Samson. Delilah was only in it for the money. Oh man, when you think about this story alone, and then you think about these men that's trying to live this player lifestyle. You 60, 50 years old, still want to go in the club and be a player. You still got your pants sagging like you 20 years old. Man, it's time to grow up and live the way you need to. Let me say this right. Live the way God told us to live. Some people living backwards, man. You still out there thinking you the player that you used to be. You done went and got somebody else pregnant. You done creeped out on your wife. It's time out for games. Because most of these games going to get you killed. How many men have been killed behind a woman? How many women have been killed behind a man? See, things that's going on now are getting worse and worse. So people need to quit spending their time on somebody they know they ain't going to be with. Because they ain't doing nothing but wasting time out of their life and getting older and older. See, I always tell people, when you are by yourself, take advantage of that. Take advantage of that. Let the Lord work on you. Start figuring out what you like and what you love doing, what makes you happy, what makes you sad. Learn yourself. That's the most problem with most people. People, they ain't learned themselves yet. But they jumping into relationships, and then a lot of them got the nerve to get out of one relationship and jump dead into the other without closing the last door. You done went and open up a new door, and you still got old problems in the last door. That's backwards. So you bring in more mess into your new relationship. I know some men have been through some things that should have got them killed. And just by the grace of God, they ain't dead. How a woman will slice your tires up. How a woman can plot on you. While you sleep, she can be looking dead at you and got her playing all the way together. A lot of men, they do things so ignorant. I mean, it's just time to grow up, people. Now, let me say this. I'm saying this for a reason because I know everybody change at different times. But if I could say something to hit somebody in the head, like I'm always hit in the head all day with looking at different videos and taking advice from the older people. You know what? One thing I love about when I go out 2 or 3 days out of the week to go, help the food bank. When I hit West Dallas, you know what I'm around a lot? The seniors. I spend a lot of times with the senior citizens. I do. I have to. And they show me so much love and they give me so much wisdom of what they done been through. They can tell you. I always tell people, man, stop by and holler at the older people if you got just time, because they have so much wisdom. And I know people say, I don't like to sit around them old folk. They cuss too much. Man, get past your holier than thou self. You probably used to cuss way more than they did. And when I sit down with these older folks, man, we can play dominoes. Talk about so many things. I don't even be wanting to leave. I'll stop working. I'll be with my boy Willie. I'll stop working and put the little food to the side, and I'll be like, man, I done got caught up in this conversation over here with this lady is speaking some realness, or this brother is speaking some realness that I need to hear, and I take it in. It don't go in this ear and out the other ear. It stays in the middle. So we need to learn how to be wise and stop, man, walking around here in ignorance. Stop spending all this time on somebody you know damn well you are not going to be with. God, the Bible teaches us, a tree by its fruit. There's a lot of bad trees out here that need to be hewn down, cut down. Somebody catch that. But then there's a lot of good trees that's deeply rooted, that's producing so much beautiful fruit. And if you're going out to anything, expect to get anything. Old lady used to say, you lay down with dog, expect to get fleas. She would say, if you're going out to get a hoe, expect to get a hoe to act hoish and give you hoe qualities. With that being said, I'm not going to hold this video no longer. Stop wasting time on people you know you ain't supposed to be with unless God is showing you something. Let me say that right before I leave. If God is showing you something, then you hang on in there. If you can see that change in that person. But if you live in a jacked up life, if the person you with is living a jacked up life and you're expecting it to get better, you living in a fairy tale world. Be blessed.